How we all doing? My name is Ajay tonight, and we're ready to get this party started. Welcome to Neelima and Kaushal's reception party. They asked me to do one thing tonight, and they said, can you keep all these guests entertained and hyped? And I said, sure. I'm asking you guys to do one thing tonight. Have an amazing time. Let me ask you one more time. Are you ready to party? Guys, did you turn my mic off? I don't think they heard me. Let me try again. Are you ready to party? That's what I like to hear. All right, folks, now let's get this going. First, I'd love to introduce the mother and father of the bride, Lakshmi Rajam and Raghava Rao Vanguri. Next, we're going to bring out the mother and father of the groom. Let's give a warm welcome for Rekha and Mahendra Toprani. Ladies and gentlemen, next I'd love to welcome the sister, brother-in-law, and nephew of the bride, Swati, Paris, Sahil, and Sajan.
There's something strange in your neighborhood. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! There's something weird and it don't look good. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! I ain't afraid of no ghosts. I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
Best entrance song ever. Best entrance song. Next, I'd like to give it up for the sister, brother-in-law, and nephew of the groom, Anjali, Sterling, and Styles. Let's hear it for them, guys.
Girl said you hallelujah. 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 Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Saturday night and we in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch. Don't believe me, just watch.
All right, guys. Next, we're gonna bring out the bridesmaids and an honorary bridesman. Let's give it up for Purnima Vangori, Dipti Chady, Stephanie Manganelli, Amanda Verone, Lindsay Hayes, and Prasanna Vangori. All right, guys. Now we're going to welcome a group of handsome men. They're going to come in. Let's welcome the groomsmen. Sumit Doprani, Dennis Mongello, Christopher Messina, Sean Messice, and Joseph Mateo. Kaushal and Mrs. Neelima.
Here I am, baby. On time till delivered. I'm yours. Here I am, baby. Says time till delivered. I'm yours. Here I am. Ain't a lot of things in this whole world. When I tell somebody nothing else but you, baby. On time till delivered.
Come on, guys, let's make some noise for this beautiful bride and groom, Kaushal and Neelima.
Baby, set my soul on fire.
All right, this time, if I can ever ask everyone to have their seats. If I could ask everyone to have their seats. We're going to introduce the bride and groom for their first dance as husband and wife. Can I please have everyone grab their seats, please, so we can have Neelima and Kaushal have their first dance?
I still remember the taste of my love. Will your eyes still smile from your cheeks? Darling, I will be loving you till we're 70. And baby, my heart could still fall as hard at 23. And I'm thinking about how people fall in love in mysterious ways. Maybe just the touch of a hand. Well, me, I fall in love with you every single day. And I just wanna tell you I am. So honey, now take me into your loving arms. Kiss me under the light of 1,000 stars. Place your head on my beating heart. I'm thinking out loud. Maybe we found love right where we are. When my hair's all but gone and my memory fades, and the crowds don't remember my name. When my hands don't play the strings the same way, I know you will still love me the same. 'cause honey, your soul could never grow old, it's evergreen. And baby, your smile's forever in my mind and memory. I'm thinking about how people fall in love in mysterious ways, and maybe it's all part of a plan. Well, I'll just keep on making the same mistakes, hoping that you'll understand. But baby, now take me into your loving arms, kiss me under the light of 1,000 stars, place your head on my beating heart. I'm thinking out loud that maybe we found love right where we are. So baby, now take me into your loving arms, kiss me under the light of 1,000 stars. Oh darling, place your head on my beating heart. I'm thinking out loud that maybe we found love right where we are. Or maybe we found love right where we are. And we found love right where we are.
Let's give it up for Kaushal and Neelu on their first dance. Let's let them hear the love.
Ooh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, and the dreams that you dream of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and the dreams that you dream of, dreams really do come true. Ooh, someday you wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind. Be where trouble melts like lemon drops, high above the chimney top. That's where you find me. Oh, somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and the dreams that you dare to, oh why can't I? Oh, someday I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind. Be where trouble melts like a lemon drops, high above the chimney top. That's where
Let's give them all a warm applause. Let them hear it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have some people come up, some of the family members and friends, and say some words about Kaushal and Neelima. First, I'd like to invite the parents of the bride, Lakshmi Rajyam and Raghava Rao Vangori. Let's give them a big round of applause.
Friends, relatives, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very, very happy to celebrate my daughter's wedding today. Actually, it's a good omen that we had some drizzle this morning during Bharat. You know, usually in the Hindu faith, if there is barish, if there is rain or some showers, it's a good omen. So I'm very, very happy that the day started with a very good omen. Okay, thank you. And to arrange this kind of event, 100 miles or more than 100 miles away from home, it's very, very tedious. Not only tedious, one has to have a lot of discipline. And we had to have a lot of planning for so many months. And there are so many people who have helped me to make this event so great, so successful. And I have to, I'm afraid that I may forget some names, but whatever names that come to my mind very quickly, I'm going to tell, if you don't mind. And during the past 1 week, there was one girl, I will say my daughter-in-law, our daughter-in-law, who has helped us a great deal in organizing, in bringing all the stuff properly into the hotel and making sure that everything is done properly. And that is Pallavi Jinnuri. There is another, I'll say girl, but she's our niece. She is Manjula Telidevara, who has helped me organize all these events in a way, and she has an art academy for herself. She has an art academy in Dallas. My nephew and my niece, Rekha Damaraju and Chandrasekhar Damaraju. During the past 1 week, more than 10 days, we had been packing these welcome bags. I hope you all got the welcome bags when you checked into the hotel. Whoever has checked into the hotel, you must have gotten welcome bags. And Rekha Damaraju and Chandrasekhar Damaraju, they helped us prepare all that. Huh? And there is another couple, Krishna Tadimeti and Sitapati Tadimeti. They came all the way from San Diego, who helped us organize. And of course, there are immediate relatives for us also. Actually, I became a little organized when I performed my elder daughter's wedding, Swati. At that time, my elder brother, cousin brother, Krishna Shastri Vanguri, he is the one who actually taught me how to organize things, and he got everything done. And You see, today, the priests usually do not eat the food that is prepared by the caterers and all that. So this morning, the food was prepared for the Brahmins, the priests, by Srimati Dasika Syamala. I do not know where she is, but Dasika Syamala Garu, she is the one who helped cooking the food and all that for the priests. Okay. And there are people who have come from India. My wife's brother, Murali Krishna Pingali and Saraswati Pingali, they came all the way from India, and they helped us in many things that need to be done. They are also more experienced because they performed their both daughter and son's weddings. And there is another brother of my wife who is Ravi Pingali and Lakshmi Pingali. They actually came from India. And I would like to mention my cousins, Appara Vanguri and Padma Vanguri, and also Prasad Vanguri and Kumari Vanguri, who have come from Baltimore and Cary, North Carolina. And there are so many other people who have helped us. The other couple I have to thank is my older son-in-law's father and mother, Leena Lakhani and Chet Lakhani. They came from Los Angeles. It was really and of course, this side, as you can see, these are all my relatives and friends. And there are so many other people who I should thank. There is one Teja Pingali who has taken care of the webcasting. Somewhere he's sitting there. Okay. My wife has been reminding me if I have forgotten somebody or what, but I did not forget. She was saying, my older daughter, Swati Vanguri, and Paras Lakhani, where is he? Oh, he took, okay. And my grandchildren, Sahil and Sajan, they have been playful, they have been very, very helpful to us. And of course, I'm sure, Neelu is going to thank her cousins also in my, right? So I will, without taking too much of time, but I would like to make a special thank yous I have to make. See, in arranging this hall, in getting the things in the way we wanted, Jeff Sands, he's the manager of organizing this Sheraton here. I do not know where Jeff is, but he has helped us. Jeff Sands, Jean, and there is Andy and the whole staff. They helped us. And I hope you enjoyed the food, the cocktail parties, everything this morning and this afternoon. And that food is prepared by the Mughal caterers. And Nabid, who has come from the Mughal caterers, is here. Who else? I'm done? Okay. See, from behind, my daughter is saying, wind up. You are taking too much time. So, I hope I didn't have any occasion to say any words about Neelu. Neelu was born on a Friday, and it is actually the girls who are born on Friday are called Lakshmis in their own homes. Okay, and Mahendra, our Lakshmi is coming to your house. Okay, yes. And for the last 40 years, 43 years, my wife has been a very good friend, a partner, and very, very helpful to me in organizing and doing everything. I know you know the credentials of Neelima and Kaushal, so I'm not going to take much of your time. And with this, I would like to thank all of you who have come from far off places, okay, from California, Atlanta, Baltimore, okay, and so many other places, Detroit, Michigan. So there are so many people who have come from far off places, and also in the local Chicago, my Chicago friends. I lived in Chicago for 16 years. I came to this country in 77, and from 77 to 93, I was in Chicago. And in 93, I moved to New Jersey. All my Chicago friends, thank you very much for coming. And all my local friends in New Jersey, thank you for coming. And I'm very, very grateful that you made this occasion a very successful event. Thank you.
What a fantastic speech. All right, guys, we're going to move on to our next speech. I'd like to welcome up to the floor the parents of the groom, Rekha and Mahendra Toprani.
Jai Shri Krishna. In our custom, we greet with Jai Shri Krishna, and you're all supposed to say Jai Shri Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna. My hearing and batteries are going low, so you have to speak up louder, please. Jai Shri Krishna. That's better. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to change the subject. Of course, Van Gurus have done fantastic job in this function. Almost 100% of the work is done by them, and I want to thank you for that. Yeah. Buddhi yukto jahatiha ubhe sukrita duskrute tasmad yogaya yujjasva yogaha karmasu kaushalam. Okay, when we had to name a new baby, this was the tape playing in the car, and that's why we get the name Kaushal. So, okay. I'm going to change the subject now. Is roasting Kaushal and Neelu, right? Right from the beginning, that slok is from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, which is the manual for good life forever. And what it means is, you know, the service to the society without expecting anything in return is the secret of happiness. And that's what I believe Kaushal has been following all his life so far. Right from the beginning, when he was born, he didn't cry like a baby. He went la, la, la. And we didn't know what that was, but Lala is our God's name. And that's probably, and this was kind of a perfectionist, even from the first checkup we had. We went for first checkup. The nurse was getting him ready for weighing. He took his, he just left the diaper on and get everything ready. As soon as he removed the diaper, Kaushal splashed her right in the eyes. Well, the second time, the nurse got a little smarter, and she put glasses on. Kaushal didn't miss it. He threw a curveball, and anyway, he was playing baseball. First game he pitched was a no-hitter, and I was ready to sign contract with Phillies. But when I asked him, he says, "Hey, Dad, that was, I may not do that for every game." He was very philosophical about that, even at the age of 7 or 8. He has devotion for parents like anything. Is Raj Udesi here? Raj Udesi? Raj, hello, come in here. Raj was going to propose to Neelu, but Kaushal beat him to the punch. So, Raj, I would recommend you find a Vanguri girl, okay? If not, at least a Telugu girl, okay? Anyway, Kaushal's devotion, he was no less. One time, I think it was about 3.5, 4 years old, Mommy called me at work. He says he's not eating anything, just standing by the window and looking for Daddy. He said, "I want Daddy, I don't want to eat." As he's like pushing Mom away. "Get away, I don't want to, I don't want you near me." So when I came home, I said, "Kaushal, what's going on?" So, "I'm mad at Mommy." So, "Why are you mad at Mommy?" "Because she married you." So, "Well, that's why you were born." He says, "No, I wanted to." He wanted to marry me. But I told him, "Neelima is waiting for you." Then he was okay. Anyway, I can go on forever. His devotion to Dad and Mom is tremendous. He keeps me straight too. He says, "Hey, Dad, did you make an appointment for the doctor? Look at your blood report. You got to go to the doctor." So I have to make an appointment. He would come in my garage and clean up. He said, "This is all going to Goodwill." He says, "Okay, Kaushal, take it." It took, in the last couple of months, it's taken 2 cars full of loads to Goodwill that I could not bear to part with. Anyway, Joe Biden has said, how, you are a successful parent if your children are better than you. And I can tell you, he is definitely better than you. If you read chapter 6 of Bhagavad Gita, slok 41, I think that's the incarnation that we have been lucky to have in our family, even though we probably don't deserve it. Thank you. Anyway, I want to thank a lot of people who have come from far away, not only from within this country. We have people come from a planet called Mumbai, Dr. Narendra. I give you an example of what I had. Take a bow, Dr. Narendra. I had problem in the knee. I could barely walk about a week ago. No, actually, May 31st. We were going to the restaurant, and he gave me a couple of pills. To this day, I don't have pain. And you show me dancing at the Bharat, right? So that's him. Like, I haven't looked back. He's done a good job. Also, Kapil and my little brother Arvind, they have come from Oman, leaving the business. It's the busy time now, like Ramadan, busiest time of the business, to grow business. They have both come. Please take a bow, and with the family. We have Bipin Bhai have driven 12 hours at age of 84 something, and from Canada. Bipin Bhai, where are you? Yeah, they have helped Rekha arrange everything, so we have envelopes and gifts and everything ready in time, plus getting her ready for different things. Of course, Sumit has come far away with the two little girls, so I want to thank you all of. And I know there are many people. Anjali has come from Virginia, and Chandrakant Bhai, in spite of family emergency, took out a day for us to come here. Chandrakant Shroff is somewhere here. Anyway, I want to show two videos to you. First one is my mother, who's approaching 94, and Arvind taking good care of it. He had to even leave her in good hands to come here. So on Fridays, they go out to the beach and everybody gets together. She could have paid you anything to come here, but unfortunately with her age and her condition, she could not travel this much far distance to come here. But she has sent good wishes to the newlyweds. That's the first video. Second video is Vallabhacharya's descendant, the 17th descendant.
નીલિમા જીને એમના લગ્ન જીવનના પ્રારંભ માટે ખૂબ ખૂબ આશીર્વાદ એવં બધાઈ આપીએ છીએ. પ્રભુની કૃપા આ નવ દંપતી ઉપર સદા બની રહે. પ્રભુ એમના બધા જ મનોકામનાઓ પૂર્ણ કરે અને ખૂબ જ સુંદર રીતે એમનું જીવન આગળ રહે. એ જ શુભકામના અને એ જ વિનંતી પ્રભુના ચરણોમાં કરીએ છીએ. જો મનોકામના છે ઓકે, if you have a mic, I can maybe put the mic over there. But okay, so
Let's give it up for the parents of the groom. Next, I'd like to welcome out the sister of the groom. Let's give a warm welcome to Anjali. Oh boy. Should I not give her the mic?
I've got stories, Ajay. Make sure you give me the microphone. Good evening, everyone. I'm Anjali. I've been called many names by Kaushal over the years, but officially I hold the title of sister. I've been writing this speech since I was 6 years old. As you can see, I have a short speech for this evening, and initially, Kaushal wanted me to share the microphone with our cousin, Sumit, but you can see that Sumit is sitting over there. I said, I'm not sharing this microphone. Not tonight, maybe another time. So September 18th, 1984 gave me a new title, Older Sister, on that day. What I didn't realize on that day is how much being an older sibling parallels parenting. I remember holding Kaushal on my lap when he was an infant. I had a black dress with cherries on it, and my dad made me sit down when I held the baby, and I put him on my lap, and I remember that. Our daddy had come to visit when he was born, and she used to sing, Kaushal beti dayo, vadle besi jayo. Do you remember? And she would rock him to sleep singing Indian bhajans. That's all I remember. That song was ingrained in my brain over the years that when my son was born, I used to sing the same thing. I will continue the roast that my dad started. As a toddler, Kaushal never liked getting his fingernails cut, so he would run down the hall away from my dad, and my dad would chase him down the hall just to cut his fingernails. And he hadn't had his first haircut yet, and he was 2 years old, so all you would see is hair running down the hallway, back and forth, back and forth. We traveled together to India. It was my first time, his, Janoy, and Jagriti Didi's wedding. And then there came a point when I thought, hey, this kid could be smarter than me when our dad gave us a word problem, and he solved it faster than I did. Now, I'm not completely innocent here. I did tell him one time to flap his rings really hard while I lifted both his feet off the floor to see if he could fly. And when he burst into tears, I got him to lie and say he accidentally fell into the sink. Kaushal took his new title of mama very seriously and very lovingly. He visited his nephew in the hospital and has happily attended all of his birthdays, complete with my son Styles riding a horse, something I thought that Styles was too afraid to do. I tell all these stories to say that today brings everything that we've experienced together full circle. One of God's greatest blessings is to watch a child grow. And I'm so happy to be here today to watch you gain a new title, husband, and to welcome Neelu into the family. So welcome, Neelu. You are the sister that I wish I had. I wish you a lifetime of peace, happiness, and joy, and lots of love. Enjoy each other, make memories, smile a lot, laugh even more, and above all else, love each other. May God always bless your union and your marriage, and I love you both. Thank you.
Let's hear it for Anjali. Boy, when I saw that paper, Anjali, I almost had them cut it. Folks, next I'd like to welcome out the sister of the bride. Let's give a warm welcome for Swati.
Hello, everyone. I hope you're all having fun, because it's been a blast so far. I'm going to do things a little out of order because I'm not going to have a chance to do this at the end of my speech, so I'm going to start with the toast. So if everybody could raise their glass. I just want to say congratulations and best wishes and lots of love to my sister, who is honestly the most beautiful bride I've ever seen. And I don't give her compliments that often, so this is kind of a big deal. And my new brother, who I am so thrilled to have. Congratulations to Neelu and Kaushal. All right. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and get into my speech, which I have on my phone. There's a little bit of a slideshow with it, so we're just going to give a minute for the slides to come up. But I'm just going to go ahead and get started a little bit. So for a long time, I was an only child. Then one day, my life changed forever. My parents told me I was having a baby sister. Actually, they just told me I was having a baby brother or a sister. But mentally, I tuned out the brother part. I just knew I was having a sister. As soon as that comes up. Yeah, no problem. Take your time. So I just knew I was having a sister. So much so that it didn't even occur to me that my parents didn't know that my parents didn't know what they were having until I was pregnant with my own son, when I finally asked my mom if she knew if she was having a girl. And she said no, she didn't know, but I did, I knew. And now, 30 plus years later, I am absolutely certain that I totally knew it was gonna be a girl. And so for those of you who know that Neelu and I walk into a room wearing the exact same clothes without planning it ahead of time, and know that this happens all the time, apparently our psychic connections began when she was in utero. So growing up with the 7-year age difference made my childhood relationship with Neelu an interesting dichotomy between being a reluctant caregiver and a friend. I hated when Neelu would tag along and get into my stuff. One Halloween, Neelu was like 4 or 5, and I was in middle school and way too cool for a 4-year-old, as far as I was concerned. There was a middle school Halloween dance that I got picked up from early to go trick-or-treating with my loud, rambunctious little sister. Even though in my mind I was too old to trick-or-treat, I still went with Neelu, who was the social butterfly of the neighborhood. And thanks to her 4-year-old PR skills, we totally got hooked up with candy. So even though I was too cool to admit it, I was secretly thrilled about hitting the jackpot. Until we got home. We actually have a home video of the two of us that night on our family room floor with each of our candies piled up in front of us in 2 piles. And Neelu is just being this chatterbox, and she's talking about all her candy, talking about how she likes this one and that one, and then looking at my pile and saying she likes that one better, and grabbing it and putting it in her pile. And watching it now, I can see that she was really feisty and adorable, but the expression on my face during this video is priceless, because I kind of look like Anderson Cooper talking to a Trump supporter. Pretty much just thinking, just shoot me. That was my love-hate relationship with Neelu. So the more Neelu started imitating me, I learned to use my older sister card to my advantage, to make her do silly things. I made Neelu and my cousins Purnima and Deepthi and Prasanna put on ridiculous shows, and the Miss Vanguri pageant. Of course, in the end, they all had to be the winners, even press. I made up dances to the greatest love of all. And yes, I did make up the Twinkle Twinkle rap. Neelu, Purnima, Deepthi, and Prasanna were all such great sports. They unquestioningly did whatever stupid thing I asked them to do. Then one day, about 10 years later, Neelu, Purnima, and Deepthi were dancing to NSYNC's Bye Bye Bye. I still was too cool to admit it, and now kind of embarrassed to admit it, but I secretly wished I could do the dance with them. And then that's when the tables were officially turned. I wasn't the cool one anymore, they were. And not a moment too soon, because I kind of sucked at being cool. As we got older, Neelu, Neelu was and still is the one that always keeps me grounded. She taught me not to take myself too seriously. I started to see myself as not someone 7 years older than my sister, but 7 years younger than my actual age. If any of you have had a moment to take a look at the photo mosaic books that are out there, you can see that in so many of the pictures, Neelu has a huge smile on her face or is making a funny face. You could go to the next one, like that. But more importantly, notice that the other people in the pictures with her, notice that they're smiling big smiles too. And these are not the posed standard smiles that we all do for pictures, but genuinely happy smiles. Neelu wants everyone around her to be happy. And that was one thing I noticed as I was getting all these pictures together. My parents are from the generation in India where people didn't really smile that much for pictures. Or if they did, they didn't smile big. It would have had to be a small, so as to not bring too much attention to themselves. But in the pictures with Neelu, my mom especially has the biggest grins on her face. Yeah. So as many of you saw, Neelu's friend Amanda also made an amazing mosaic where she solicited messages from all of Neelu and Kaushal's closest family and friends for beautiful messages to them. And my mom wrote a really lovely message to Neelu that she had to cut short just to fit on the mosaic. But I did want to take a moment to read to you what she really wanted to say, because I know she's not going to have the courage to come up and do it herself. So this is from my mom. Dear Neelu, in the first moments of your life, when I cuddled you, swathed you in the hospital's snowy white blankets, I was in my early 30s. I held you and was overwhelmed by feelings of maternal protectiveness. I silently pledged to protect you and Akka forever, to only allow life's goodness to be showered upon you. I've waited for this moment since the day you were born some 30 years ago, and yet I feel thoroughly and utterly unprepared. You have brought so much happiness and love to our lives. You made our family complete, and we can't wait until you can experience this joy with a family of your own. We are proud of everything you have accomplished in your life and the woman you have become. You are a beautiful and loving daughter, sister, and friend to everyone you meet. I know your values will carry you through life and your marriage with grace, dignity, and strength. I wish you and Kaushal good health, experiences that take you around the world, and love that makes you want to come back home. Lots of love, Amma. That's my mom. And that's completely unedited, ladies and gentlemen. That's my mom's own words. I'm sorry for rambling on, but this is only ever going to happen once, so this is my opportunity. So again, as my mom said, Neelu wants everyone around her to be happy, whether that's being silly or standing up for what's right. Neelu has taken this desire to her career. For those of you who don't know, Neelu is an attorney that specializes in employment discrimination and civil rights. And in this day and age, when some people feel that their rights are being taken away from them, Neelu has not been scared to go into uncharted territories to help those who have been silenced to find their voice. As some of you know, Neelu recently, you can clap for that. As some of you know, Neelu recently became the first attorney in the entire country and likely the entire world who has successfully convinced a judge that transgendered individuals should not be discriminated in the workplace under the Americans with Disabilities Act. Thanks to Neelu and the amazing law firm that she works in, transgendered individuals have a leg to stand on defending their rights. Again, Neelu wants everyone to be happy. Yeah. As my mom said in her message, Neelu is a beautiful and loving sister to me. But even more than that, Neelu is a beautiful and loving aunt. She is the universal Pinny. She will do anything for her nephews. She plays games with them, sings them songs, and understands their needs almost as well as my husband and I. No matter how crazy or busy her life is, she religiously makes time to drive to our house once a week to spend an evening with Sahil and Sajin. When I was taking overnight calls, Neelu and my mom would be on call too and stay at our place overnight to help with our kids. What aunt does that? In fact, this is what she was doing exactly a week ago today. During one of the busiest times in her life, she made time to make water balloons and play with her nephews. She once said to me that even though she sees them every week, she still gets excited on the drive over that she's going to get to play with them. I know we don't say it enough, Neelu, but thank you. So it became pretty apparent that whomever Neelu would choose as a life partner would have to be equally committed to her nephews and have a love for children. To me, I couldn't imagine anyone coming into our family that could love my kids as much as Neelu loves them. Little did I know of this bromance that would develop soon. From the moment that we met Kaushal, he embraced us and Sahil and Sajin as if we had always been family. For me, the defining moment was when our beloved aunt Mahalakshmi Vanguri, who we called Dodda, was in her final days of life. We were all so distraught and wanted to do everything in our power to drive down to Frederick, Maryland, to see her one last time. The day we were asked to come to see her, Neelu and Kaushal were scheduled to run the Broad Street run. They were still in the early stages of their relationship, and Neelu said that she just wanted to get the run over with so she could just get in the car and drive down to see Dodda. But I was worried about her driving alone since I knew how devastated she and I were. So I suggested that she ask Kaushal to go with her. But she sort of hesitated a little bit because she didn't really want to ask this guy that she was only dating for a little bit to come with her to such a personal and sad event. She didn't want to scare him off. But then she decided to ask him anyway, and then Kaushal agreed to come without hesitation. That's when I knew this guy was a keeper. And Neelu, I know that Dodda is watching over us right now, cracking herself up about which one of you is coffee and which one of you is the bagel. Sorry, inside joke. I could go on and on for hours, but Kaushal, I am so thrilled to have you as my new brother. To Sahil and Sajin, you have been Kaushal Babai already for so long. I don't even think they remember their lives without you in them. I couldn't have picked anyone better for my sister. I hope that today lives on in your memories as one of the best days of your lives. While weddings have several traditions, such as the father-daughter dance and the mother-son dance, I know the one dance that is really important to you is the Pinni Babai, or Mama, and Nephew dance. So I'd like to invite you both to come down and have a dance with your nephews, Sajin and Styles, and Sahil in absentia because he's not feeling well. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I I see skies of blue and clouds of white, bright blessed day, dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I'll watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Do you want to sing You Are My Sunshine real quick? Yeah. Sing You Are My Sunshine in the mic. Okay, Sajin wants to sing You Are My Sunshine. This is their song together.
Go, oh my sunshine, oh my sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. Where you know deep, I love you. Break my sun, shine away.
Let's give it cousin of the groom. Let's hear it for Krupa.
Hi everyone, I'm Krupa, Kaushal's cousin. Kaushal and I grew up together, and when we were toddlers, Kaushal had a hard time saying Krupa. Instead, he had a very funny nickname for me, and if you know any Spanish, you'll understand why it's funny. So he would go around saying puta. So he would go around saying puta, 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 and as a 3-year-old, yeah, that's very humorous. As we were playing when we were kids, Anjali reminded me that I would follow him everywhere, under tables, under chairs. I would try to pick him up everywhere I could, even though he was a year older than me and obviously a lot bigger. What I remember most about our childhood, which included a love for the Phillies, trips to the beach, Hindu camp, and creating these awesome cities together in Sim City is how kind Kaushal always was to those around him. He has always been this caring and sweet person. As we've grown up and matured, Kaushal has still been consistently a great brother. He's always been my first and last visitor every time I've moved over the years. And now I'm in awe of how loving he is as an uncle to my son Aryev, his nephew. When I was homesick after moving to San Francisco, Kaushal's visits felt like home had arrived. When Kaushal bought his house, I was so elated that he had settled down. Prior to that, I would always try and convince him to move to SF. And then one day he told me, after much persistence, "Krupa, I have a lady friend in Philly." So, of course, when he told me that, my mind was going 100 miles an hour. And I just couldn't wait to see Neelima's picture. And I made him pull it up right then and there on his iPhone and show me a picture of her. I knew once I met her that they belonged together. Kaushal is so lucky to have met someone as wonderful as you. As I got to know Neelima, I saw all her beautiful characteristics. She talked about her nephews with glee, and she played with my son Aryev with just as much joy in her face, and I could tell how much she loved children. All I could think of was, wow, she is so loving. She was always so thoughtful, remembering birthdays and special occasions. She even made a big Mexican feast at Kaushal's place and invited over several couples. I could see the way Kaushal adored her. This is a testament to her parents. And throughout this year, I've gotten to know her family, and they've welcomed us as family. And I can tell just from meeting her mom and dad where she's gotten all these wonderful characteristics from. My Fui and Fua are so lucky to have gained a daughter as amazing as Neelima. Kaushal and Neelu, as you embark on your journey as husband and wife, I only have a few words of advice. Be each other's partners and confidants. Go on as many adventures as you can together. Have lots of Netflix and chill nights. Home is wherever you both are together. And lastly, take the time to find an interest in each other's passions. I have no doubt that you'll both be starting your happily ever after today. Wishing you a lifetime of love, happiness, and laughter. I'd like to raise a glass to Neelima and Kaushal. Do you mind if I borrow a glass? There you go. All right. Okay. Cheers. Cheers.
Let's give a big round of applause for Krupa. Welcome out, cousins of the bride. Let's give a warm welcome for Purnima, Deepthi, and Prasanna.
Hey everybody, I'm Prasanna, I'm Neelu's cousin, and as you may have heard from the song, I know a lot about Disney. Why? Because I grew up with a bunch of princesses. There was the older trendsetter, there was the baby, there was the super old role model, and of course the weirdo middle one. She grew up in a castle in a remote kingdom called Flemington. She slept under a pink canopy in a pink room surrounded by animals of all shapes and sizes. She painted, she quilted, She learned the traditional dance of her people and did many other princess-worthy things.
So the four of us grew up as a unit. We spent many of summers together, wore matching clothes, and became royalty, since we are princesses and a prince, at a temple camp in North Carolina. And yes, we went to summer camp at the temple for many years. We were all around the same ages, so we are. So many of the things that we all went through kind of happened around the same time. So learning how to drive, going to prom, graduation, college applications. And going to college was going to be the first time that I think we all kind of went on our own journeys, but still stayed true to really connecting with each other. We all feel that Nilu is the trailblazer of our group, defying tradition and leading boldly, like our dear Mulan. She went off to London for a year to study abroad, which sadly limited our daily phone conversations, which were really challenging, but we were excited for her. And she absorbed herself into the culture, which inspired, I think, me personally to just be confident in forging my own path. And so if Nilu could spend a year learning new cultures and experiencing all there is in different countries, then I could do my own thing in terms of my path. One of the things I love so much about Nilu is her thirst for trying new things, but still being able to balance all that she has going on. So she would have to go to work, she'd have to go to school, and also go to her dance lessons. And then she said, oh, you know, I'm also trying out an oil painting here and there, and maybe training for the Broad Street 10 miler. Or, you know, my favorite was, I'm actually trying to perfect the art of macaroon making. So regardless of all that she had going on, she still found the time to do these things. And I really don't know how she does it, but I've always admired her willingness and excitement to try new things.
I think what's always pushed her is that she wanted more. She wanted to be where the people were. She wanted to see them dancing, walking down those, what do you call those again? Streets. Oh. No, but seriously, Nilu always knew she was destined for great things. She went above and beyond to wow the Georgetown Admissions Committee, worked her butt off through law school, and as Swati already mentioned, is inspiring the entire country with her pioneering law work. She's been all over the news. Even though I'm technically a year older than Nilu, or 11 months to the date, I've always looked up to her because of her tenacity and her ability to fight for what she believes. If anybody can convince the world that mermaids can walk on land, it's Nilu. But like all of us, she wondered when she'd find her soulmate. Nilu is such an amazing friend, daughter, aunt, and sister, and cousin, and always puts her relationships first. So as her very overprotective posse, we wanted to ensure that her future husband would deserve her. Kaushal, luckily, is kind and gentle and thinks Nilu's pretty incredible. He's also just as goofy and fun-loving as she is. Most importantly, he is the Shang to her Mulan, inspiring her, but also supportive of everything she's accomplished, and will never let anyone hold her back.
Nilu, you have the beauty of Jasmine, the brains of Belle, the strength of Mulan, and the ambition of Ariel, with your own little silly twist. We're so excited to be here celebrating yours and Kaushal's grand ball. This isn't the ending of the fairy tale, and we're so excited to break out in song with you along the way. Cheers.
Let's give it up again for Purnima, Dipti, and Prasanna.
I'm on top of the world, hey. I'm on top of the world, hey. Waiting on this for a while now. Let's turn it up. I knew my rent was gonna be late about a week ago. I work my ass off, but I still can't play it low. But I got just enough to get up in this club. Have me a good time before my time is up. Hey, let's get it now. This for everybody going through tough times. Believe me, been there, done that. But every day above ground is a great day. Remember that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, next song is a special request. Special request.
Oh,